Thank you. Welcome back to the show. Carol Leifer, a very funny woman. She started her comedy career here in New York City at the Comic Strip and also another club, Catch a Rising Star. This is her first network television appearance, so please give her a warm welcome, Carol Leifer.
Remember that song, Petula Clark from the 60s? Don't sleep in the subway, darling. Or don't stand in the pouring rain. What kind of guys is she going out with? She's got to tell him these things, you know. Don't wash your face with Clorox. Oh, and hey, don't shave with a Ginsu knife. Weird. Bobby Goldsboro, remember him? He was big in the 60s. His big hit, Honey. I hated that song, Honey. Oh, yeah. The worst lyrics in the world, the worst. She wrecked the car and she was sad and so afraid that I'd be mad, but what the heck? Forget it, honey, forget it. You lost the kids too? What the heck, huh? Bridget Harris, remember it? Big hit, MacArthur Park? MacArthur Park, it's a nice song, but it's so serious. You know what I mean? Someone left a cake out in the rain. I don't think that I can take it, because it took so long to bake it. It's just a cake, pal. I'll never have that recipe again. Oh, no! Stable guy. Ever so stable, sure. No, it's weird. High school kids, they don't remember these songs now. Spoken to somebody in high school recently, you feel so old, you know? I feel like I'm the old timer with the cane, you know. You know, when I was growing up, we didn't have HBO. You only had about 5 channels to choose from. It was tough. Yeah. So I've been traveling out mostly in the Midwest. Boy, I love the Midwest. The people out there, they're so friendly, you know? They're so nice. You call up information out there, it's like, oh, yeah, can I have the number of Ernie's paint store? Well, sure, and hey, it's my husband's day off. He can take you down there if you like. More fun than Twister. This is great. Anyway, so I've been seeing this a lot too when I've been traveling. They have these artists like along the sidewalks or in malls that'll draw your caricature for you. You ever see this? Who would do that? Getting your caricature done is like saying, hey, could you take my worst features and exaggerate them? Sure. Oh, and I'll pay you for it too. No, make my nose look more like a banana. That's good, yeah. Now, Picasso, there was a great artist, huh? This guy didn't fool around, but he dated some bizarre women, didn't he? Did you ever see those women in his paintings? They're like, what? How did he get them to pose like that, you know? What did he do, open up the bathroom door where they were in there? Pablo? Get out! From Long Island? Oh, wow, I can't believe it. They're freaking out. Wow, I can't believe it. Wow, look at all these people. Yeah, Long Island. Grew up with a lot of princesses. Woo. You know the type, they drive Camaros, you know, they're real spoiled. I was a waitress for a while. These women, they're so hard to wait on, you know, because they have to have everything perfect, or they go crazy, start complaining to their boyfriends. Always the same scene, you know, they're like, Michael! Michael! Michael, listen to me, Michael! Michael, taste my tab. I think it's a Coke. the kind of women that have to take off their makeup with fantastic. Shop at Bloomingdale's, that's a great place for them to hang out. Bloomingdale's is a little different, though. Some of the women there, you ever notice, like, they all talk like this? It's like, their mouths down to their knees, you know. They're always like, Betty. Betty. See this blouse? Comes in puce, too. These are the same women when they're in bed with their husbands. They're like, Harry, get off of me.
Very nice. Thank you very much. And so you're back in California now? You don't live here, is that correct?
Yeah, I don't live here anymore.
Is that the usual trauma, one would guess?
Yeah, it is, but I'm getting used to it. But everybody's so tan out there, you know?
Yeah.
It's intimidating. I'm pretty pale, you know? I go down to the beach, people think I'm a mime. This is pale. You know, they're throwing quarters at me, shouting out requests. You're in a box. Walk against the wind.
You just got married, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Married a comedian.
Is that a smart move?
Yeah, well, I married Morty Gunty, so I think that's...
So you're Mrs. Morty Gunty.
Yeah, that's me.
How is Morty?
He's doing pretty good. He's helped me out a lot.
That's an interesting name, Gunty. That must be... Well, is that his real name?
Yes, he was born with that.
Yeah, I guess that wouldn't be a stage name you would select. But you didn't really marry Morty Gunty.
No, I married... Hi, Richie. Hi. Rich Scheidner, he's good.
He's also a comic, you mentioned, yeah.
You could have him on, maybe.
Well,
we need the money, Jay.
yeah, this is the kind of show Bob Eubanks would be hosting, I think. And did you ever work together?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Is it fun?
Yeah, I think it's good, you know, just nose and glasses and joy buzzers and stuff. It's fun.
Interesting. Yeah. You're terrific. I'm very happy you were here tonight.
Thanks. I'm glad to have me.
Good luck to you, and I hope you come back.
I sure will.
Carol Leifer. We'll be right back. Thank you very much. We're out of time. I want to thank the studio audience. You folks were terrific. Also, Slim Whitman, Stephen King, Carol Leifer, Andy Kaufman, Paul Schaefer in the band, Bill Wendell, the studio audience. That's twice for you folks. Monday, Quentin Crisp, CBS correspondent, Morley Safer, and a look at more Dial-It services here in New York. Have a good weekend and good night.
This has been a Melman production.
Turn around.
This has been a Melman production.
Thank you very much. Before my next guest went into comedy, she was a successful dancer on Broadway. Her stage credits include such long-running hits as Annie and The Magic Show, now doing stand-up comedy in clubs across this great land of ours. This is her network television debut, so please make her feel at home. A nice welcome now for Rita Rudner.
Thank you very much. It's so nice to be here. As David mentioned, I was in Annie last year on Broadway. I played the prostitute. Thank you. Before that, I was in the Magic Show on Broadway. I played the prostitute. I don't know why I'm always playing prostitutes. I really don't. In high school, I was voted the girl most likely to become a nun. That may not be very impressive to you now, but it was quite an accomplishment at the Hebrew Academy. I'm originally from Miami Beach. Thank you, yes. I was born there. I know that's where most people die. I had a nice childhood growing up down there. I don't mean to complain. I come from a typical middle-class Jewish family. We were very wealthy. I'm an only child. My parents play backgammon. For very high stakes, I used to have a brother. Every year I went to summer camp. The camp I went to was very pleasant. It wasn't very rustic. I went to a camp for overprivileged children. Camp Gucci, ha-ha. We had an indoor lake. Overnights were fun, though. I remember, telling ghost stories around the microwave. Roasting marshmallows was a little tricky, though, because they only took 1/8 of a second. I don't cook at all. Still, you know what? Because my mother couldn't teach me. She was horrible. She's very lazy about everything. Like, for instance, she once made carrot cake. She didn't grate the carrots. She just baked them whole right into the cake. She even left those green things hanging out the sides. There's really only one way to describe my mother, though. There's a very old saying, I don't know if you've heard it, neurotics build castles in the air and psychotics live in them. My mother cleans them. She used to exaggerate about things a great deal, too. She used to tell me she had natural childbirth. I recently found out it was her own version of natural childbirth. Before they knocked her out, she took off her makeup. You know what really amazes me, though, about having babies these days is that doctors can tell so much about babies while they're still inside you. My girlfriend's pregnant, and she had these tests run, and it seems the baby is normal, and it's a boy, and it's a lawyer. It's going to be a real long time for me before I have children. I'm very single. My parents are putting on a little pressure. Last time I went home, they threw me a surprise wedding. They're very happily married, my parents. They've been together forever. They've passed their gold and silver anniversaries. They're on rust. I was dating someone for a long time. This is kind of a sad story. We broke up because, well, he wanted to get married, and I didn't want him to. We had lots of problems. It's better this way. For instance, his mother didn't like me. I don't know. She didn't approve of me because I was in show business. I just don't know why people think women in show business are so wild. I have to tell you, the closest I've ever come to even a menage a trois is once I was dating a schizophrenic. I don't even understand how group sex works. Oh, what did they say afterwards? Excuse me, was it good for anybody? This is the weirdest thing in the world, and it's true. I was reading men reach their sexual peak at 18. An 18-year-old. Women reach their sexual peak at 35. Yeah. Do you get the feeling, though, that if there is a God, he's into practical jokes? Gosh, you're such a nice crowd. I think I had a wonderful time. I'm going to go home, which is a treat for me because I love to go to my own apartment. I've been on the road recently, and I was staying in a Howard Johnson's. Now, it's very nice, but have you heard their new slogan? If it's not your mother, it must be Howard Johnson's. That's their new slogan. Really, I thought it was just a slogan, but I was staying there. I called down for room service like 4 in the afternoon. I was very hungry. They said, no, it'll spoil your dinner. maid came in every morning. She said, clean up your room. As I was checking out, the lady behind the desk said, go ahead, leave. Doesn't matter. I'll be dead in a couple of weeks. Thank you very much. Good night.
Rita Rudner, very nice job. Now, you were a ballerina, and then you danced in all of those shows, and you switched to comedy. Why did you quit dancing?
Well, I quit ballet because of kind of an unfortunate accident. I injured a groin muscle.
Mm.
It wasn't mine. He's doing very well. He's a soprano with the Vienna Boys Choir.
How was that being in Annie night after night, working with dogs and kids and so forth?
It was fun. I liked it. Well, I guess this is true. You know the song Tomorrow? Mm-hmm. Well, I'm not real fond of that song. Mm-hmm. I liked it when I started. I loved it, but, you know, it a lot of times, you know, so. One night, this is a true story, the little girl was singing Tomorrow all alone on stage with the dog. It was that very poignant moment. And the dog started to throw up.
Poor old Sandy. Darn the luck. And you have other work. Things are going pretty well for you now?
Yeah, I just did the Catch a Rising Star 10th Anniversary Special. Be on HBO in October.
Terrific. I'm very happy that you came here tonight. Enjoyed it a great deal. Rita Rudner, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. Thank you very much, Paul. Thank you very much, Rita. My thanks to everybody who was here tonight. Tomorrow night, Carole King and comedian Richard Lewis. Have a good evening. Thanks for being here, folks. Good night. If you've just joined us, we're right in the middle of elevator race number 3, and we're all pretty excited about that start. My next guest, we're very excited that this gentleman is here also tonight. He has been writing and performing music for over 10 years, but in the last few months, with the release of this particular album, Marshall Crenshaw, and a national tour, his career has really started to move. We're delighted to have him here tonight for his network television debut. Please welcome Marshall Crenshaw.
what you need. All I can do is wonder why. Someday, somewhere, oh, someday, somewhere, now, now, oh, someday, somewhere, oh, maybe I'll understand you. Someday, somewhere, oh, someday, somewhere, yeah, someday, somewhere, maybe I'll understand you. Someday, somewhere, oh, now, someday, somewhere, yeah, someday, somewhere, maybe I'll understand you. Someday, somewhere, oh, oh, someday, somewhere, yeah, someday, somewhere, maybe I'll understand.
Oh, my God. Unbelievable. Have a seat, Sarah. Sarah, this is Marshall Crenshaw. Oh. Don, congratulations. Don, this is Marshall Crenshaw. Have a seat. Okay, let me, just don't go away, Marshall. Clara, this is amazing. Third time in a row. But do we have to... Well, this is a little bit slower. 7 minutes, but congratulations nonetheless. Clara McAllister, a three-time winner. Clara, I want you to have the trophy. Oh, my goodness. And Jody, keep it on the mantle. And Don, here are your fish sticks. Congratulations to you. And good eating. Thanks for participating. Don's time was 7:05. Oh, this is very close. And Jody, 7 minutes, 34 seconds. You get the facial blotters. Thank you for making this a wonderful event. Clara, thank you. Marshall, come on up here. Oh. Well, you must be pretty excited making your network television debut when Clara successfully defends her elevator race title, huh?
Yeah, incredible.
This is very exciting. Thank you very much for being here tonight. You're from what part of the country?
I'm originally from the Detroit area.
Is it safe to assume that there was anything in that part of the world that influenced your music?
Yeah, Motown, the Stooges, MC5, the whole gang.
Did you, and I know you did, spend a lot of time recording your music in your own home?
Yeah. I don't know. No, it all started, you know, when I got a tape recorder. I needed something to record, so I started to write songs.
Yeah.
And the rest is, well, from there, you know, we began our plummet to unique fame. Is that it? Yeah.
That's close enough. Now, what kind of fidelity can one achieve recording in was it your garage, your basement, your breakfast nook, or?
Well, fidelity wasn't the thing I was really striving for. I was really just striving to make some kind of interesting noise.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, the idea of fidelity was the first thing I threw out the window.
Yeah. Now, the first song you did was recorded by somebody else. People might be aware of that, right?
Yeah, it was initially recorded by the fabulous Robert Gordon.
And so you've had some acclaim as a songwriter, and now you're doing really well as a performer and recording act.
It seems so, yeah.
Yeah, it's very nice of you to be here. We're going to do, I'm going to sit in with the band. You're going to do another song for us, right?
True, yes.
All right, terrific. Coming up later in the show, Marshall Crenshaw will be back. We have to pause now to kind of regroup. Marv Albert will be joining us. Thanks for putting up with all this stuff.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby.
ladies and gentlemen. My next guest is a very funny and likable fellow, a comic actor who appears in clubs and on college campuses all over the country. He has also done many TV shows. However, this, in fact, is his first network television show in North America. We're delighted that he's here. Please welcome Kevin Nealon.
Thanks a lot. You know, I've been thinking, I've been working on the road a lot lately. You know, and it's different cities, you stay in different hotels, and it gets lonely. I used to call my girlfriend on weekends, but you can't carry a relationship on over the phone. It's impossible. And they say calling long distance is the next best thing to being there, right? I say the next best thing to being there is being with someone that looks similar. That's what I say. Hey, it's a lot cheaper. I want to reach out and touch somebody, you know? I met a girl in Connecticut last week in some bar. Nice girl. I guess she had been drinking a little bit, but, you know, I'm sure she still had it all together. So I carried her outside, right? I propped her up against the wall. I didn't know what to do. It was like one of those cartoons. I had a vision of this little devil sitting on my shoulder saying, "Yeah, go ahead, get her. Come on, what are you waiting for? What, are you scared? Let's go." But then on this shoulder, that kind little angel saying, "Yeah, go ahead, get her. What are you waiting for?" I didn't touch her, though. She wasn't my type. She had a lot of makeup on. That turns me off. She had lipstick, heavy lipstick, a lot of cheek rouge. Is it a cheek rouge or she had some bad rug burns? I don't know what it was. But I gotta admit, I was tempted. I was really tempted to take advantage of her. But I'm not that kind of guy. You know, it's the way you're brought up. I took her wallet. Hey, I'm not stupid. I went for the cash. Some people, I'm telling you, some people do anything for money. They will. Anything. Last summer, these two guys robbed a bank. This is true. I read about it. And naturally, they didn't want to be recognized, so they pulled nylon stockings over their heads, right? Actually, these guys used pantyhose, so they had to walk really close together. And they did it. But they did it, and they got the cash. Everybody wants money. Everybody wants to be successful. I don't think you need money to be successful. I think a good sign of success is, oh, when you've got women walking around your house that you don't know. You know? And they're wearing your shirts, and you don't know who they are. Or when you own things that you don't have time to use, like friends. That's a good sign. You don't need money to be happy, either. I don't think you need money. My neighbors are happy. They have a newborn baby. They came over today, the ugliest baby in the world. Oh, I don't know what happened to him. Maybe he was just out late the night before. I don't know. Anyway, you know, newborn babies are not that cute, I don't think. They're shriveled up little heads. They have no teeth. They're pink. They drool. Everybody thinks they're cute. I know if a grown man walked in here right now with a shriveled up little head and a load in his pants, not one person would point and say, "Oh, isn't he cute? Let me hold him." Remember when you were a kid? Remember when you used to... I love listening to people talk about the good old days. It's not what they say. It's those two words they say. They go, "Remember when? Remember when you were a kid?" You know that tone of voice. "Remember when I met you?" No matter how tough the guy is, it always comes out that way, right? "Hey, Mac. Just thinking about the time I worked in that steel mill down in Pittsburgh. Remember when we beat the hell on that sucker?" I got some great memories. I just went to my reunion. 20 year. Thank you. 20-year kindergarten reunion. I'm telling you something, some people never change. They don't. I had my mother drop me off. And I'll tell you something, boy, when she left, I cried and I cried. I couldn't handle that. No. Actually, I just went to my high school reunion. Those are fun, high school reunions, because, you know, you could talk to your teachers different, because you're an adult, than when you did in high school. In high school, it was like, "Excuse me, Mr. Maroney, may I have a hall pass, please? Use the boys' room?" But at the high school reunion, talking to that same teacher's like, "Yo, Maroney, keep an eye on my damn scotch. I gotta use the can, huh?" I'm a lot more serious now than I was in high school. Like now, when I throw an egg at a house, I mean it. I do. Remember when you were a kid? You had a scab on your knee and your mother would say, "Hey, don't play with that." You say, "I'm not playing with it, I'm picking it." Who would play with a scab? Can you imagine having a whole toy box full of scabs? What do you put little wheels on them and push them on? I grew up in a large family, a lot of kids. One time my father got fired from his job and he had to let 2 of us go. That wasn't bad for me, but my brother, he had been with the family like 15 years. It was hard for him to hook on with another family. That was back in the 50s. 50s, that was a good decade. During the 50s, all the guys back then used to keep a pack of cigarettes rolled up in their sleeves. Tough guys used to keep a carton of cigarettes up there. These were the tough guys. I woke up this morning and I started thinking, I wonder if the natives in Africa remember the 50s. I wonder if they sit around a kettle somewhere deep in the jungle just talking about the good old days, you know? Thank you very much. Thank you.
Very nice. Very funny stuff. Thank you very much for being here. How are things with you generally? How's your social life?
Oh, Dave. Well, you know, I figure life is so short, you know.
It is short,
I'm
yeah.
pretty busy, but I think you should live your life. You know, I live my life like it's the last day of my life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like every morning I get up, I spend about 3 hours on the phone making funeral arrangements. And I just sit back and wait.
Every day?
Every day.
Oh, my.
It's fun here. New York is nice.
You like being in New York?
Nice weather. Actually, it's better than Los Angeles right now. This is one of these nights where I just like to sit outside on a chaise lounge, you know, like a nice cold 6-pack of beer and a shotgun and just shoot at cars.
That takes the edge off a busy day, doesn't
Yeah, it does. 'Cause, you know, there's a lot of things you don't see out there.
That's true, yeah.
People should chase more. Sit on the chaise lounge.
Good idea. Kevin Nealon, ladies and gentlemen. We're going away, but we'll be right back. We have to go. I want to thank everybody who was here. Kevin Nealon and, of course, Willard Scott, who has recently written this book, Willard Scott's The Joy of Living. Paul Schaefer and the band, Bill Wendell, and what a wonderful audience. And also, good luck to our producer, Mr. Barry Sand. He has been nominated for an Emmy, and they'll have the festivities in Los Angeles for his fine work on SCTV. Good luck. Good night. Have a nice night. Guest is a smart, likable comedian who is one of the leading figures on the thriving San Francisco comedy scene, it says here. We're delighted that he's making his first network appearance with us tonight. Please welcome stand-up comedian Mr. A. Whitney Brown.
Thank you. I am A. Whitney Brown. Someday I hope to be the Whitney Brown. Right now, I'm A. Whitney Brown. A lot of strange things happened to me. I was in Modesto, California last week. I was waiting at a red light. I looked across, and there was a guy in a car next to me who was totally out of touch with reality. He was into a fantasy. He thought he was at a racetrack. What tipped me off, he was driving a Pinto and wearing driving gloves. Goggles. I left the red light. He started tailgating me, which I hate. I can't stand a tailgater. The only thing that I hate worse than that is a slow driver in front of me. And I had one, some old guy, and you know how old people drive slow. I was getting a little frustrated, thinking to myself, buddy, if I was your age and I wanted to go somewhere, I would hurry. They had me in a squeeze play. Parnelli Jones behind me and Methuselah in front of me. I figured I could ditch the guy behind me by going through a yellow light and leave him stranded at the red. But the guy in front of me chickened out at the last minute. Nothing serious. I slammed into the back of him. His teeth flew out and broke the windshield. What was funny, though, was the guy behind me went into his policeman fantasy. Didn't have anything to do with the accident except for causing it. Peeled off his driving gloves, walked over to me and said, "What's going on here, buddy?" I said, "What's it to you? You're not a cop. Are you?" "I'm an American citizen. I'm making a citizen's arrest." I said, "Wait a minute. How do I know you're a citizen? Let me see your papers." While he's looking for them, I drove away. Made a citizen's escape. Been having a lot of trouble with my neighbor lately, too, ever since my dog killed his chicken. He got this chicken, and chickens are loud, and they are loud early. I don't see anything wrong with waking up at the crack of dawn, but I don't think it's anything to brag about either. That's probably why people have eggs for breakfast. Cock-a-doodle! 5 o'clock, give me those eggs. Here's 2 chickens that'll never wake me up. I thought maybe this chicken can take a hint, so I put a Colonel Sanders box out on the fence. This could be your coffin, Mr. Chicken, if you wake me up again. My dog will not defend anything either, because he doesn't want to get involved. Burglar broke into my house, let him take the stereo. He doesn't listen to music. And let him take something that he's interested in, like the garbage. His garbage. Thinks the garbage can is a safe where we put all the valuables after every meal. Garbage man comes before the chicken gets up. I don't wake up. My dog has to wake me up. Let me know we're getting ripped off. He's in the bedroom. "Whitney, get up! They're stealing our garbage! They got a big truck and everything! You stay here. I'll go wake up all the other dogs in the neighborhood." I grab a rolled-up newspaper and whack him across the jowls. It doesn't make him shut up, but it does make him hate the paper boy. Oh, I was going to tell you how my dog killed the chicken. I don't know how it happened. He was loud one morning. He got out. My dog got out, jumped the fence. Maybe somebody left the door open by mistake and yelled "sick 'em" accidentally. You can't just let a dog get away with something like that. I tried to bluff my way out of it. I went over next door. "Hey, what's the idea of feeding my dog chicken bones?" He wasn't buying it. He said, "You know, you've got a vicious dog there, buddy. I think you should have him put to sleep." I said, "Now that that chicken is dead, maybe we can all get a little sleep." I learned when I lived in the country that if a dog does that, you take the first chicken that he kills, tie it around his neck, make him wear it for a week, he'll never do it again. Except my dog's a city dog. He thought it was jewelry. He was showing it off to all the other dogs. He even got a pair of matching sparrows and hung them from his ears. He was walking in the park. On the 3rd night, a pack of cats rolled him for the whole set. That's the end of that story. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We're all out of time. Whitney, thank you very much for being here. You're going to be at homecoming at the University of Connecticut.
Yes,
Stores?
Stores tomorrow.
Terrific.
And Worcester the day after that.
Oh, well, we'll get a bus
Someplace
together
in
and
Worcester.
follow you around the great New England area. Nice meeting you, sir. Thank you for being here. My thanks to the studio audience. We get the healthiest, happiest-looking group of humans ever here. Also, my thanks to Marv Albert, Maxie Furman, Paul Schaefer in the orchestra, and, of course, Bill Wendell. Have a good weekend, folks. We'll see you Monday. Good night.